Allowing the hips, the knees, the shins, the ankles, just allowing everything to sink a little bit deeper. Again, if you've got the sun sort of streaming in wherever you are, just feeling the warmth against the skin. If the window's open, maybe just listening to the kind of tweeting of the birds or the planes overhead or whatever it might be that you can hear. And allowing yourself to become aware of those senses. It's quite often something that we just sort of brush over in our subconscious, we don't really take note of. But just giving ourselves that little opportunity to take the time to be aware, to be still, embrace that silence, and be comfortable with that silence, comfortable with that stillness. It's been a really busy, hectic week. Just savouring that little bit of quiet. Start to bring the arms overhead and just stretch up towards the sky. Take a hold of one wrist and just feel that arm kind of gently pull away from the joint, away from the shoulder. Just feeling a slight bend through the waist and through the shoulders there. And take the opposite arm, change wrists, and just again slowly drag that arm over. So you're feeling a little bit more space through the wrists, through the waist. We'll tend to take a big side bend, so land the hand, bring the arm over. Doesn't matter which side you go, but just feel the waist kind of pull away from the hips, easing into that spine. And use the breath to come in, come all the way over, and take it the other way. So you're sort of stretching over, massaging through those vertebrae, through those spines. We're going to take a really quick twist, okay? So just bring one hand behind you, rest the other hand over the top of the knee, and just look over your shoulder there, just swiveling through the waist. And then take yourself around the other way. Again, just changing sides, just taking that really quick twist through the waist. Brilliant. As you bring the hands onto the knees, we're just going to circle the spine, so roll back. Kind of feel your belly button tuck under, feel your tailbone tuck under as you pull back. Drag yourself over those shins, come forward, and then roll all the way around. So you're kind of making a nice big circle with those hips, big circle with the spine, allowing that chest to come forward. Maybe taking one more little swivel round, and then take it the other way. So go back the other way, swivel all the way around, over those shins, just feeling the spine sort of start to massage over, the vertebrae massage over one another, and those hips start to loosen. Brilliant. As you bring it back to centre, I'm just sat on a block, so I'm just going to pop my block away, but you can stay sitting on yours if you want to. Just bring the feet out in front of you and just let the knees just kind of rock one way and then the other. So like little kind of windscreen wipers, just opening up through the front of the body. And as you turn over towards the right, just pick up your left arm and look behind you. So you're taking a slightly bigger twist there through the waist, okay? So you're looking sort of over that right shoulder. And then bring it all the way around, take it the other way. So windscreen wiper those knees over, pick up that right hand, and again, just looking over that left shoulder. It's almost like you're kind of wringing out a cloth. Your waist has become like a little towel, and you're just wringing it out. Brilliant, bring it all the way back. And then just cross at the ankles, and we're going to rock ourselves forward and come onto all fours, okay? So just bring yourself over your knees, onto those wrists, and just move through a couple of rounds of cat-cow. So dropping the belly, lifting up the tailbone, pulling those collarbones forward, and then dragging your chin under, dragging the chest under, the tail under, really anchoring down deep through those fingers, through those knees, through the fronts of the feet, lifting up through the shoulders. And again, use that breath, allow that breath to come in. Big inhale, and big exhale. Pull it all the way up. Lovely, just do that one more time. So roll forward on the inhale, opening up the collarbones, and then pull all the way back on that exhale. Lovely, from here, tuck your toes under. We're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So lift up the hips, ease back into the heels, keep the knees really, really soft, and just start to pedal the legs down. So you're stretching out through the back of the hamstrings, through the backs of the thighs, getting that lovely little grip through the fingertips. So you're pressing deep through those fingertips so you keep the pressure away from the wrists. And from here, we're going to ripple forward. We're going to come into a high plank position. So just gently easing those heels back a little bit, keeping that belly button tucked in, getting that lovely little sort of draw up through the thighs. Start to lower the knees down, bend the elbows, come all the way down onto your belly, and take a really small bend to start with. So elbows under shoulders, just pull back into that little Sphinx pose. So just kind of almost getting, kind of, again, arching the spine, but just being really cautious with it, particularly if you've got any little niggles or lower back pain. I'm going to push back onto all fours, so come all the way back. Take the weight into the heels, so ease back into child's pose. Just let the nose, let the chin, and let the forehead kind of tuck towards the floor. And just ease back into those hips, ease back into those heels. Just have a little swig of water. Lovely. As you want to start to drag yourself forward again, come back onto all fours. Again, we're going to take a little thread the needle, so keep the left hand to the floor, take the right hand up, look in towards the palm, and then from here we're going to lace that hand all the way under, bringing the shoulder down onto the floor, just letting the side of the head kind of rest there. And again, if that's your sort of dominant side, you can quite often feel, all that tension under the shoulder blade start to ease out. So bring the left arm up, just look towards that palm, bring the hand down, maybe just rest it there, or hook it over the top of the thigh, so it just gives you a slightly bigger twist. Lovely. Breathing in, bring that arm all the way up. Breathe out, let that hand come down, and again, push into the palm as you release that arm. Take it back up towards the ceiling. Good. In, bring those hands back to the floor. Just tuck the toes under. Come up into downward facing dog again. So tucking those toes, tucking those heels, letting them sink towards the floor. Just pedal out the legs. Again, ease out through the back of those hamstrings. Feel that belly kind of travel all the way down into the diaphragm, into the belly. You've got nice soft lips, soft nose, so let the breath just sort of ease out. Again, bring your weight forward, come into that high plank position. Draw up through those shoulders, get that little tuck of the belly. Squeeze those thighs, press the heels back towards the back of the mat. So just give your legs a little bit more ownership of that plank. And then again, let's lower. So bring the knees down, come all the way down onto your front. Again, easing into your back bend, so being kind to ourselves, particularly if we've been sat down all day, maybe had a bit of a desk-based day. Just ease up. And again, push back, take child's pose, knees out, go out wide, heels come together, and just melt forward. Take a couple of breaths. Okay, we're going to do that same thread the needle, but we're going to take it over to the other side, okay? So as you come back onto all fours, okay, keep that right hand down, this time left arm looks up towards the palm. Again, thread it through, bring the shoulder down onto the floor. Just take your time, just let that shoulder kind of accept the stretch. If this is your non-dominant or your dominant side, might feel a bit different to the other side. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, just twist on up. Nice and soft. Lower that hand to the lower back or hook it over the thigh. Again, just enjoy that exhale. We're always in a rush. We're always trying to kind of juggle things, and this week more than ever might have been a bit of a juggle. So just ease into the simplicity of it. Just take your time. There's no rush. Okay, again, let's come up. Open up. Nice big wide stretch. Land the hands again. Find that downward facing dog. Okay, so tucking your toes under. All right. And if you're ready to maybe start making it a little bit more static, you could bring those toes up a little bit closer towards your hands perhaps. And if you want to start to ease the heels down, you can almost touch the floor with those heels perhaps. Just hold it there. Again, get that lovely tension through the fingertips, up through the wrists, through the thighs, through the belly. Really enjoying that connection to the floor. We're going to walk our hands back, so all the way to the back of the mat. Okay, allowing ourselves to come into that nice deep fold. The weight of the head just sort of drags you back or drags you down. And you can wrap your arms, give yourself a big hug. So maybe hold the thighs or hold the back of the calves and just pull down into that nice deep fold. Good, take a big inhale, look forward. And then again, exhale, just come a little deeper. Maybe just giving yourself a tighter squeeze as you come into that deep fold. We're going to unravel. We're going to come up to stand. So uncurl the spine all the way up. Bring the arms overhead, look towards the thumbs. And take a big swan dive. Come all the way back down again, folding at the hips. We're going to walk forward. We're going to come into a high plank position. So landing those hands back all the way along the mat. Easing forward. Okay, wrists are just underneath your shoulders. Again, really embrace that plank. You're really strong. You're kind of controlled. You've got confidence in your body. And if you want to keep the knees lifted this time, simply bend the elbows, let the whole body come down. And we can start to ease into a bigger back bend, maybe taking a cobra or a baby cobra as we pull that heart forward. Good, find child's pose again. Pull back onto the knees, heels together. Just take a breather, take a big breath in. Big exhale. Maybe even wrap the arms this time. Wrap the arms around behind you, or maybe even wrap them behind your tail. Maybe lifting up those knuckles if you want a slightly bigger stretch through the chest. And it can be one of those little active recoveries or little kind of active rests. We're going to come forward. Okay, all together we're going to come up to the top of our mat. So just ease up into a downward facing dog. Okay, again, let the weight sink into those heels. And then looking forward, take a big jump, maybe a step. Bring both feet together. And just let yourself unravel. Again, come up to stand. And find Tadasana, mountain pose. Okay, just bringing the hands in. All right, just pause for a moment. Maybe just keeping the eyes closed. Letting your gaze maybe just rest to the top of those fingertips. But again, just embrace that stillness. Be slow, be still. Feel all four corners of your feet. Sort of give you that stability, give you that connection. Lovely and grounded. Lovely. We're going to move through some little variations on Surya Namaskara A. Okay, so breathing in. Bring the arms all the way up. Look towards those thumbs. Take a big bend. Come down into your swan dive. As you look forward, take the breath into the body, bring the hands onto the shin bones. And then from here, step your right leg all the way back. Big lunge to the back of the mat, lowering the knee. And then just lift that heart forward, soften through the back bend. Again, if that hip is really tight, just bring it up slightly. It doesn't need to be such a big bend. You can just open up those hips. Perfect, bring the hands down, step back, take downward facing dog. All the way back. Perfect, let the heels drop, spread the fingers out nice and wide. Get that connection with the floor. Look forward, breathe in. Find that high plank. Again, really strong. If your kids are with you, maybe they're even trying to lie on your back or use you as like a little piggyback. But embrace it, come down really slowly, all the way to the floor. Again, if you're taking a bigger bend, maybe it's an up dog. Maybe you're lifting up through those thighs, through those collarbones as you come up to upward facing dog. And again, meet back in downward facing dog this time. So lift those hips, pull all the way back. Lovely, just take 2 breaths. Big inhale, big exhale. From here, look forward, walk those feet, step those feet, bring them up to the top of the mat. Big toes together, big toes to touch. Let yourself hang. Unravel, uncurl the body, come all the way up. Look towards the thumbs. And we're going to swan dive straight back down again, okay? So hinging back in those hips. Allow yourself to fold. Again, look forward as you take the breath in. And this time, left leg lunges back. A big long step. Lower the knee. Again, we're just bringing warmth to the body, bringing movement to the body for now. So just open up. Again, keeping it a little bit higher if those hips feel tight. Lovely and soft. Good. Again, find down dog. Step it all the way back. Take 1 breath. Just breathe in. Big exhale. Inhale, find high plank. Strong through the core, strong through the body. Pull up through those thighs. And again, bend those elbows. Come all the way down. Taking your option, okay? Either a baby cobra or a little sphinx pose or your up dog. And again, meet me all the way back. Downward facing dog. Good, again, just letting those heels hang. If you enjoy that feeling of kind of having the heels connected, you can always bring the feet in a little bit just to make the downward facing dog a bit shorter. Okay, some people like that feeling of kind of always challenging, maybe keeping them slightly lifted as they bring them down. But just go with what feels best for you. Perfect. Again, we're going to bring ourselves forward, so looking towards that top of the mat. You can either take a big step or maybe a little hop. Inhaling, lifting the heart. Exhale, just take a moment again back in that fold. And again, just give yourself that hug. Maybe wrap the arms, wrap the hands to the back of the calves. Just draw in. And ease up. Come up to stand. Again, just pause in your Tadasana, pause in your mountain pose. Bringing the hands into heart center. Okay. Again, just take a moment breathing in. And breathing out. Lovely. Let's flow again. Let's build on our flow this time. So breathing. Open up. Breathe out. Hinge forward. Okay. As you take that breath in, flatten the spine, hands to shins or fingertips to the floor. And then take that leg, step it all the way back. Lower the knee. And open. Soft through the heart, soft through the lungs. And then just extend that front leg. So lifting the toe, just ease into the heel. Perfect. Lift that heart back up. So again, rise. This time pick the knee off the floor. Okay, and come into that high lunge position. So pull back into that heel. Take the arms behind you and just open up those collarbones. Press the palms together and be really strong, really proud. Rise, breathe in. This time we're going to come into a high plank position, okay? So bring the hands to the floor. Just step back. Pause. Again, draw in through the belly. Lower. Come down. Bring yourself to the floor. Taking your back bend. Whatever option you go for, lift the heart. Take downward facing dog. And just take a couple of breaths, breathing in. Big breath out. Take one more breath there. Okay, we're going to bring ourselves back to the top of the mat. Okay, so start to soften the knees. Soften the hands, look forward. Again, jump or step. Bring yourself up to the top of the mat there. Look forward as you bring the breath in. And again, let's give ourselves that little hug. Bring the hands round, maybe the back of the thighs or the back of the calves. Just drawing the nose towards those knees. Lovely, big, strong fold. Well done, perfect. Let's unravel again, so roll up. We're going to do the same, but on the left side, okay? So take the heart high and swan dive straight back down, all the way to the floor. Good, so we're moving quite quickly, probably feeling quite warm. Hopefully those muscles are feeling nice and supple. Look forward on the inhale. And again, take that leg all the way back. Left leg, lower the knee. And take that heart all the way up. Good, soft into the hips. Again, just land the hands. Okay, lift the toe up towards the sky. Again, just easing back. Oh, could probably hear my knees and my feet creaking there. Okay. And then again, as we come forward, this time, strong through those legs, strong through those ankles. Rise up into that high lunge. Again, if you've got a little wiggle going on, just press back through that heel. Again, clasp those hands together. Draw those collarbones forward. And just pull those shoulder blades back. Good. Come a little deeper if you can. Strong through those legs. Perfect. Breathe in. And again, let's find our high plank. So hands. Draw the belly all the way back. Fabulous. Push through those hands, push through those knuckles, really drawing the shoulder blades up. And then bend those elbows, come all the way down. Take whichever bend you want, whether it's an up dog or maybe a sphinx. Okay, and we're going to come back into down dog, but if you would prefer to take a child's pose, just listen to your body. If you need that little breather, then do take one. Okay, and just let those heels sort of soften. Maybe just walk out those heels again if you're a little bit tight, a little bit stiff. You can always bring a twist in as well. When you're in downward facing dog, there's no reason why you can't have a play around. Maybe take one hand across, drawing the heart underneath so you get that little twist there, just stabilizing the shoulder. Or maybe doing the same on the other side. Okay, let's take one more breath in. If you're in a child's pose and you want to come back to down dog, now's the time to do it, because we're going to come back to the top of the mat. So bend the knees, soft little hop, feet together, heart forward, and you breathe in. Exhale, let the head down. Again, take that little wrap, hands behind the calves, lower the nose, tuck it in nice and slow. Slowly bring it up. Perfect, unravel. Open up the heart. And again, just pause into Tadasana, okay? Mountain pose. Just ground down through the heels. Again, just take a big inhale. Big exhale. Brilliant. Lovely. We're going to build on. Okay, we'll bring some more standing postures in. So this time, come up. Just above that light shade, which is very irritating. Fold it forward. You never realised how tall I am, did you? Inhale, look forward. And again, lunge that back leg, that right leg. Bring it back. Okay, this time keeping that knee off the floor again. Take that rise. And we're going to bring our little twist in, okay? So bringing the palms together, looking down those front hand, those fingertips. Draw the left hand back. So I'm going to turn away from you for a moment. So I'm going to twist towards that left arm, towards that left shoulder. And then bring that hand back. Take it the other way, so open up to the right. Take that right arm all the way back. And we're going to land the right heel, also the back heel. So we find ourselves in Warrior Two, with that knee just above the ankle, the heel and the arch just lining itself up. And come down into that nice deep fold, that deep bend through the hip. Turn the palms together, turn the palms up. Take a big breath in, lengthen through the waist, lengthen through the side. And then again, fold, bend it back down into that knee, nice and deep. Good, do that one more time. So rise, lift, and exhale. Come back down. Good, reverse for me. So open up through the waist. Just extend that right hand back down towards your calf or towards your sort of ankle area and open up. Again, we've got loads of space, loads of warmth in our waist now. Okay, and then bring the forearm to thigh. Again, use that waist, use that core, so the arm sort of rests there. But if you want to have a play, and again, this is where you can maybe take it a bit deeper if you want to, hands to the ankle, or even just reaching away from you, so you're using your waist to keep you stable. Good, take that breath in, come back to warrior, turn both palms up, lengthen, and we're going to go into a surfer's lunge very quickly, so just bringing the hands to the floor, ease back. Good, just deep into that back knee. Brilliant, lengthen out through that back leg, or front leg even. Let's take it to the front. Sorry, Baker, take it back to the front of the mat. So just ease it over to the other side. Again, easing out. Lovely. We're going to come and take our warrior to the other side, okay? So you're going to be facing the back of your mat now. So that right toe faces the back of your mat. That left foot is side on. So that ankle and that arch lines up, okay? And again, find your warrior. Come down nice and deep into that back leg, so that right leg. Again, turning the palms to the sky. Breathe in, lift, and breathe out. Soften into the knee. Fabulous. Do that again. Rise. Take the breath in, and exhale. Bring it down. Good. Reverse your warrior. Take that right arm to the sky. Left hand just travels down the back thigh. Nice soft waist, soft bend there. And then bring the forearm down. Again, Parshva-Konasana. So you can either bring the forearm onto the thigh as you extend, or again, play around with it. If you've got that depth and you want to go a little bit lower, hand to the ankle. Or again, maybe extend that arm, feeling strong through that leg. Maybe feeling a little jiggle there. I've been doing a Joe Wicks workout every morning with my kids, so my legs are feeling And they've never had so much exercise. Brilliant, bring it up into warrior. Straighten out that leg. And again, take your Skandasana, take your surface lunge over to the front of the mat. So lowering in, lifting up, getting that little stretch onto the inside leg. Brilliant, breathe in. We're going to transfer back to the back of the mat. So going over the other way. Fabulous. Oh, easing out. Brilliant. As you walk yourself back to the top of the mat, just bring both hands either side of the front foot. And we're going to step back into plank. Now, before we come to the floor, we're going to have a little play with our planks. So we're going to move into some side planks, okay? So bringing one knee down to the floor. You can take a side plank from here, so you've got that leg nicely sort of nuzzled to the floor. Or if you want to keep your feet stacked, simply turn over to the edge and bring that arm up. So lift the palm, lift up through the waist. Fabulous, take that big breath in and exhale, bring the hand down. Change it over, change it the other way. So rolling onto the other side. Again, get that lovely lift through the waist. Now I've got my back to you, but lift, lift, lift. And then both together, bring the hands to the floor. Let's come down all the way through our plank again, taking our back bend, ease it to the floor. If you're taking an up dog, just lift those collarbones, soft through the hips, strong through the legs. And let's meet in child's pose. Let's take a little breather. Okay, heels together. And again, just wrap the hands, bring them round by the side. Just take that breath in. And again, big breath out. You want to keep those hands behind your back, maybe lifting up the knuckles. Nice stretch there through the collarbones. Just draw it back. Okay, perfect. Lovely. Let's take one more breath in. And we're just going to do a couple more little standing postures before we come to the floor. Realise that it's already nearly 3:30. Don't know where the time goes when I talk to myself in front of a screen. Flies by. So come all the way back down, sinking into those heels on your downward facing dog. And we're going to bring ourselves up. So again, maybe have a little play. If you're kind of always a bit apprehensive about jumping, it's something I always think it's quite nice to kind of break it into little hops, maybe just to start off with. So maybe bring your hands halfway up your mat and jump it halfway, and then extend them and jump it the other. So you're kind of introducing a little hop, breaking it down into little bite-sized jumps, and then roll up. Okay, we're going to have a play. We're going to take ourselves into tree, and then we're going to take ourselves into into warrior 3. So just start off with your right leg as your standing leg and your left foot to the ankle. Maybe bringing the foot just under the knee or just above the knee. Okay, and just take a little moment of stillness there. Maybe just letting your breath sort of just whistle over the tips of the fingers. And just maybe even trying to close the eyes if you can. And again, just imagining your foot is like a square and all 4 corners are kind of grounding down. And they're taking it in turns to take the weight. You can feel the little toe, maybe the big toe, the edges of your heel, taking some of that balance. And we're going to take our knee, our left knee, and bring it in. Just give it a little squeeze, hug it in. And we're going to come into warrior 3. So we're going to flex that left foot and then extend it all the way back behind us. So squeezing in through the belly, through your bottom, keeping everything controlled. So extend that leg back. Good. Maybe take the arms out long, or maybe even bring them out to the side. Or again, clasp them behind you perhaps, opening up those collars as you extend. And as you come forward, breathe in, land the hands, let the hands come all the way down, and just let that foot sort of land behind you somewhere. Okay, it's a nice sort of natural distance behind you. And we're going to come into that nice fold. So we're going to actually start by coming up to fold back down. And like I always say when I do our classes, just drawing that front hip back so both hips are parallel, and then hinging, bringing it forward. If you want to take a bind behind you, Maybe take a hold of the forearms, or even take a hold of the elbows. Or if there's a reverse prayer, you can bring the hands together and just look down towards the nose. You can start to maybe tuck the chin in towards the chest. Maybe even look back towards the knee or the nose towards the knee. Brilliant. Taking that slow breath in and big breath out. Release the hands for me. Bring both hands to the floor. And we're going to take a twist towards that knee, okay? So towards that front leg. So left hand is going to stay on the floor and that right hand is going to lift. It's a really big twist, okay? So if it feels too much, just keep a slight bend in that front knee. But otherwise, try and look up towards the sky there. Just feeling that big rotation. Yeah. We bring the hand all the way down. We're going to step onto that front foot and see if we can take a standing split, okay? So bringing the weight forward, just simply take the leg up behind you. And again, if you want to have a play around with your hands, you can maybe take a hold with one hand around the back of the ankle, or maybe even extend back. So like little tripods, you're kind of drawing those fingertips back behind you. Okay, bring both feet together, land the feet, and then again roll up, stacking those vertebrae. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Fabulous. Walk those legs out, give them a little wiggle. Let's take it over to the other side, okay? So left leg is your standing leg, sole of the foot to the ankle, under the knee, or just above the knee. And again, get that little draw of the belly. And again, just savouring that stillness. Just looking at your feet or thinking about your feet. How stable do they feel? Okay, maybe the big toes are kind of coming away from the floor, or the little toes are sort of gripping down. The heels, edges of the feet. Just settling that breath as well. Slowing everything down. Let's have a play with our standing, our warrior three. So again, draw that right knee in. Just give it a little hug. Pull it in towards you. And again, just flexing that foot, okay? Send it all the way back. And again, this is where you're strong through that standing leg. Drawing the belly in, tucking that hand into heart center. Having a bit of a wobble, if you're like me. Okay. And again, if the arms come out wide, just challenges it a little bit more. Or even goes long into that extended warrior three. Perfect. Let the hands come down. Okay. Let the foot just naturally come back behind you. So you've got sort of about a foot or so between your feet, or maybe even slightly more. We're going to start by coming up before we go down. So again, that front foot, so that front hip even, just naturally kind of pulling it back so those hips are parallel. And then hinge it forward. Open up those shoulders. We've done lots of shoulder opening, so hopefully they don't feel too stiff. Maybe find those elbows or the reverse prayer. And again, just drawing the chin slowly in towards the chest, letting the nose come down towards the knee, the eyes just back towards the shins. Again, just really enjoying the back of the legs sort of softening there. Okay, breathe in. As you breathe out, lower the fingers to the floor. Okay, and again, we're going to take that twist. It's a big, big twist, isn't it? You can feel it really down the back of the outer edge of that leg there. That piriformis, that ITB really eases out. And then lift up, turning towards that front leg. Big stretch, big twist. Lovely inhale. And then slowly exhale, bring the hands to the floor. And again, let's take that little standing split, okay? It's a little bit challenging, I do appreciate that, but it's always good to do something a little bit different, a little bit fun. So lift that leg behind you. Okay, and again, maybe take a hold of the back of the ankle. Or if you want to bring those hands in behind you, she says, precariously, pulling into that standing split. Brilliant. When you're ready to bring the feet together, oh, land them, roll up. Well done. Super challenging. Bring the arms up. And again, just draw the hands into heart center. Maybe just walk those legs out. Ooh, give them a little wriggle. Give them a little bit of a shake. A bit of a pat. Let's bring ourselves back to the floor. So inhale, come up with me. Exhale, fold. Look forward on the breath. And again, find your plank. Okay, and before we come to child's pose, you know what's coming. We're going to have a play with our planks again. So letting that left knee come down. Take that side plank if you want to modify. If you want to make it a little bit harder, maybe lift up that front leg, that top leg. Bring it into your tree. Okay, lift up. Just grounding that bottom foot so you get that lovely lift. And then let's have a play on the other side. So bring the hand down. Roll it over. Again, lift up through the hips so you're strong through the waist. Really pressing down through those fingers. And again, if that top leg wants to come up. Ooh, really strong. Through the side. Wonderful. When you're ready, come down. Brilliant. All the way to the floor. Take your back bend. Baby cobra or upward facing dog. Find a downward facing dog just for a couple of breaths. Okay, soft into those knees. And again, play. If you want to take that twist again, maybe bring the body underneath that shoulder. Just easing out. Change sides. Take it round the other way. Fabulous. Bring the hands all the way to the floor. And let's find child's pose together. So knees down. Heels in together. Okay. Just melt the heart forward. Take a couple of breaths. Well done. Okay. Lovely. Okay. Just going to come and sit on our bottom just for a couple of moments. So just tuck the ankles in together. Okay, come down. And just bring your feet in, so your soles of your feet are coming in together. And we're just going to take a nice gentle fold forward, okay? So we're going to roll the spine. We're going to curve the spine, bringing the nose or the forehead down in towards our feet. So our Baddha Konasana. And if you want to kind of hook yourself into a little sort of pretzel shape, maybe bringing those forearms underneath the knees or the ankles and roll down into that nice fold. Please take one more inhale and gently bring it up. Perfect. Keep one leg there, okay? Take the other leg out to the side. And again, that toe on that extended leg is sort of lifting up towards the ceiling. So you've got a kind of engagement through that leg, okay? That leg is still sort of engaged. And again, just walk yourself forward. Maybe bring yourself onto those forearms. So it's a bit of a release, a bit of a stretch onto that inside leg. Just taking a couple of breaths, okay? So soft in and soft out. Walk it in. Okay, and then we're going to reach down, see if we can find that ankle. Maybe we find the toe, maybe we bind the big toe. And just take a side bend. Ease through the waist there. Okay, nice and soft through the belly. Take a little bit of a gate pose, okay? So we're going to land the left hand behind us, just push in towards the shin, just lift up, so you're pushing those hips forward, just releasing through the hips, and then bring it down. Okay, change sides, so draw that leg in, take the other leg out. Okay, same again, get that leg to sort of stay switched on. It's always quite easy for that leg to kind of sort of swivel inwards, so that you want to kind of keep that leg sort of, you know, part of the party, and then walk it forward. Ease in. Again, I tend to feel it kind of down the inside of my leg there. You might not feel it too much, I don't know. Everyone is slightly different. Again, just letting that breath sort of slow you down. Well done. Take one more inhale. And then gently walk it up. Okay. Reaching towards that big toe again, maybe finding the ankle or the outer edge of the little foot, little toe or the big toe. And again, ease into that side bend. Okay. Nice and soft through the hips, soft through the waist. Again, take that gate pose, okay? So just pressing the shin to the floor. Just press those hips forward, just a nice little counter stretch. And then as you bring yourself down, we're going to have a little attempt at taking both legs out wide. Okay, so take them really as wide as they will go. And again, the same rules apply, okay? So those legs are engaged, those toes are lifted, and we're just going to walk ourselves forward. Okay, it might not be that we get that far. You might surprise yourself. You might be able to kind of use the floor to drag you forward. Okay, and then again, just sink into that nice wide leg fold. Similar to what we do when we're standing, don't we? We often do wide leg folds when we're standing up, but this time we're just sitting down. Okay, take one more breath in. Big soft exhale. See if you can walk forward maybe a little bit more on that second exhale. And then drag it back up. Okay. Perfect. Lovely. Lift those knees up. Oh, bring them in together. Let's roll down. Let's come onto our back. Let's move through a boat pose to get there, okay? So keep the toes to the floor. If you've got any lower back issues or you've got slightly weaker core for whatever reason that might be, any kind of recent pregnancies or babies that have recently been born, always just keep that core protected. If you want to bring the toes off the floor, maybe then just take it up a little bit higher, or even lifting those toes all the way up can just make it a little bit more intense still. So work with whatever option feels good for you, okay? Again, there's no harm in kind of adjusting, modifying halfway through when you start to think, actually, I've had enough now. My core is starting to tell me about it. Lovely, let's bring those knees in, hug in, little squeeze, and then roll all the way back. Come down onto your back, just rock a couple of times like a little hedgehog, just massage out that lower back, and then just settle, letting the feet come to the floor. You can just about touch your heels, okay, so they're just in nice and close towards your sit bones, because we're going to lift into a baby bridge position. So we're pushing those hips up. Okay, if you're using a block, where did I put mine? If you do like using a block, you can always slide your block in underneath here. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a support, which can be really restorative. It's a really nice place to come if you're feeling a little bit kind of like you need some nourishment, a little bit of restoration. If you want to come up a little bit higher in that bridge, just simply squeeze your bottom, tuck your elbows, tuck your shoulders together, and come up a little bit higher. Yeah, take one more breath in. Big exhale, bring it all the way down. Rolling the spine to the floor. Just draw the knees in. Give yourself that little hug. Okay, just rock. We're going to take some twists. Nice gentle twists. So keeping the knees together, take the arms out wide. And just allow your legs to drop over one way. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can just simply pick up that top leg and just drag it over so it comes over a little bit more, or even extend it if you want to. Maybe catch a hold and extend. And look in the opposite direction, so look down that opposite arm as you take that twist. Lovely, take one more inhale. Bring those knees back together, draw up, and take the twist the other way. Okay, so again, knees can stay together. If you want to take a slightly deeper twist, And simply take that top knee and bring it over a little bit higher, a little bit further towards the floor. And again, you're looking down that opposite arm, maybe even extending that top leg underneath the TV unit. So extending out. Again, just enjoying that breath, feeling everything slowing down. Your Shavasana is around the corner, waiting for you. Okay, bring the knees back together, breathe in. Lovely, let the lower back settle and just massage out there, circle out those knees. So that means lower back and massage to the floor. Okay. And then to finish off, just simply extend the legs up. We're not going to take a shoulder stand, we're just going to let the legs come up towards the sky. Just pressing the heels up so those toes draw back. If you do want to take a shoulder stand, absolutely be my guest. But you're just going to focus on pulling that belly button in, pressing that lower back to the floor. We draw the soles of the feet together. Bring the heels in towards your sit bones. Take a hold of those feet. Just lift your nose up towards your chin, so sort of hug in. Those legs kind of wing out like they did in your butterfly pose. And then from here we're going to come into Shavasana, okay, into our relaxation pose. So taking the legs out a little bit wider than your hips. Palms can face up towards the sky. The arms just have a little bit of space between them and the side of the body. Again, if you've got a jumper or some socks that you want to pop on just to keep you warm, then you can. Or your blanket, if you've got a blanket to hand. And I'm just going to let you stay here in your Shavasana. I'm going to come and sit back up and just sort of talk through some relaxation. But you stay there and just enjoy, savour those last few moments of stillness. Just feeling the weight of the heels, just sinking into the floor, the weight of the calves, the thighs, the hips, just letting everything sink. And again, just feeling that breath, that cool air. Maybe there's a breeze, maybe there's some sunlight, sort of washing down your body. Feeling the belly rise, the ribs open, the diaphragm flatten down. As that breath comes in, you can feel those ribs kind of expand out, maybe even pressing into the floor. Taking away any sort of residual tension that you're holding on to. Taking it away, leaving the body feeling fresh, rejuvenated. The weight of the hands, the wrists, the forearms, the elbows, the backs of the arms, shoulder blades. Again, just kind of sinking into the floor. Enabling you to feel grounded, feeling connected. Maybe creating a little bit of stability where everything has felt so uncertain, unstable, constantly changing every day. Just knowing you've got that place to come, give you that connection. Back of the head, crown of the head, forehead, around the eyebrows, around the eyelids, the nose, the lips, the mouth, jaw. Again, just softening, melting away. If you want to stay there, then please do. I'll leave you there and you can just end your call, end your conference whenever you're ready to come back up. If you want to come back to sitting, then just draw the knees in and roll over to the right. Take your time as you push back to that cross-leg position. And just meet me here if you want to. Bringing the hands into heart center. Okay, just feel the pressure between the right and the left side, those hands almost sort of accepting the pressure from either side. That logical left and that creative